Hello and welcome to Rain and Rail Enthusiast and a continuation of our Along the Railway Line series along the White Cliffs line. To find out where I am today, here's John with the railway map. The White Cliffs line runs from Folkestone West on the bottom of the map up to Sandwich on the north east of the map. It also includes Westenhanger and Sandling. And today I'm at Deal. The station was opened in 1847 as a terminus on the South East Railway line, which would extend further southwards towards Walmer and Dover. The line is eventually completing in 1881. As you can see from this map, the station from 1881 had two platforms with buildings and an engine shed to the north, which was twin-tracked. This was further enhanced to a three-track shed, and a further siding appeared beside the coastbound and London-bound sides. The layout was quite complex with various crossovers, and the buildings on either side were well constructed and certainly gave the station an air of importance. The site remained the same until 1930 when the engine shed closed to steam locomotives. However, it was used by the engineering department and survived bombings in World War II. Signalling was undertaken by a signal box which was originally in the traditional style of the time. However, this was replaced in 1939 by the splendid and now very rare Odeon-style glasshouse signal box, more of which we shall see later in the video. 1940 saw the goods shed demolished when the area became dedicated to coal traffic and the platforms were lengthened. The London-bound side building was unfortunately demolished in 1968 to be replaced by a single bus shelter. The other building has survived, albeit with a different ornate roof. At time of filming, a semaphore signal can still be seen next to the road bridge, as well as at the other end towards London. However, I fear this may also become a casualty of modernisation in the near future. Okay then, Deal railway station. I'm walking through the Sainsbury's car park. This is where the goods yard used to be, as detailed in the previous notes. Coming up now onto the main station building. As you can see, very, very nice. I'm going to pull out a little bit further so you can get to see this wonderful building. Very nice to see it still in operation. There's a telephone box there. There's some nice planters outside, which is always good to brighten up the station. Various posters. We'll go through the booking hall in just a second. Various posters. Lovely clean brickwork. Not seeing anything unusual at the moment. And there's an entrance to platform 1 with an overbridge to platform 2. There's a small bike rack there. And here's a advertisement for Deal Station volunteers, and if you are interested, the details are there. There's a QR code down there, so if you want to pause the video and get involved with your local station, I'd highly recommend you do so. Let's have a look inside the station building. Inside of the booking hall, very nicely looked after. There's some bunting still up for the coronation. Automatic doors leading you out into the car park, notice board and a lending library, which seem to be quite prevalent along the network at the moment. Behind me is the actual booking desk. There is a waiting room, a vending machine and a photo shop. And here's a little look at a small waiting room. Toilets are there. A little bit of seating here in the main booking hall. And as I say, over to the left hand side is the ticketing desk. So let's go out onto the platform. And before we do, platform information boards. Okay, now out onto platform 1. There's some station seating under a very, very fine canopy. And like most down the line, or not most, like all down the line, a fantastic looking and well presented station. Interesting little door here for coffee. I don't know whether that seems to be open only at certain times of the day. Let's have a little look, see if there's anything in there. There seems to be absolutely nothing in there at all, so looks like that is a coffee shop which could do with some new tenants, which would be nice. Having said that, because of the proximity of the Sainsbury's across the road, I would imagine it wouldn't have got all that busy, which is a shame. Let's go a little bit further down, more seating. There's a bin. Turning around, see the extent of the line, with obvious evidence that this used to be more than one track, a fast track through the centre of the station, which is no longer there. Some nice planters have been put in, and hopefully they will grow and be looked after to make the station brighter during the summer months. That's the bridge, which I'll take as we carry on down. There is a milepost marker. Always nice to see these still in and around the station areas. But of more interest, and how long this is going to be here for is anybody's guess, is the semaphore signal. Been here for absolutely years, obviously, and to everyone's surprise hasn't been taken out as of yet. Whether it will still be staying there, again, is anybody's guess. I would imagine eventually that will be removed, which will be a shame, but that's progress, and is definitely an unusual hanger-on across the UK rail network. Views through the bridge, very good there, and there's a sweeping curve right at the end there. Makes for very good photography and videography. Let's turn back over. You can see nice wide platforms here at Deal. The level crossing is way over there in the distance. So let's have a little other look down the far end of platform 1. One thing I seem to have missed was the History Hub, Deal's History HQ, which seems to be through here. I am not aware of any opening times. If I see some, I shall put them down on the bottom of the screen there, but if you do know any more, please, as always, put it in the comments below. Everyone will be very interested to know, because that could be quite fascinating. There's more seating. There's the entrance to the booking hall. So if you go for the booking hall and you turn to your right, you're going to find an electronic ticketing machine. And if we carry on down, you're going to get to the bridge. And just before we get to the bridge, you'll see there is a help point and a defibrillator, which is always good. This is quite nice to see. Obviously an original, which is good. Some more planters. And the bridge, which I must admit does need a lot of TLC. But it's still standing. So we're going to go over it now to platform 2. Has to be said that there are some fantastic views to be had from the top of this bridge, however. All the way down there, you can see the signal box and level crossing, as well as the short spur, which I'll have a look at in a moment in more detail. Across the other way, that road bridge, and of course the station building itself, giving some good views across the line if you wish to do some different railway photography and videography. Actually, from here you can see the extent of what used to be the old siding. It's still owned by Network Rail, but there's no continuation of that line any further up into this area. Okay, now down on platform 2, we can just spin ourselves around and we'll head down this way. Gives you a good view of other planters on platform 1. And again, there's some more planters here with some very nice and colourful plants here as well. It does brighten up the station, The only thing I would say is that perhaps Deal could do with a lick of paint in other areas. The seating, for example, is looking a little bit rusty, but I'm sure this will all come about because other stations along the line are looking in tip-top condition, and it would be nice for Deal to also look a little bit like that as well. But that's no complaint at Deal because it's a lovely station and obviously a lovely town to visit. Looking through these barriers, you can see that siding. It does actually lead up to a very small, which is hard to see from here, a very small platform area. So there obviously must be a way of loading and unloading small bits of equipment from that line. Would be nice to see something do that one of these days. But as I'm not very down here that much, I'll leave it up to other railway enthusiasts in the area to capture that perhaps in the future. And at the end of this platform too, you'll get a great view again of that deco signal box and some more semaphore signalling, plus the spur off. Does look very newly ballasted, so it obviously is being used occasionally to the network rail depot, which is very good to see. Normally these sidings are taken out of use, but they're obviously finding some use for it. If you know what that is, please, again, let me know in the comments. Okay, then walking along the other way of platform 2. Of course, you get a very good look at the station building over on platform 1 from here. There are some bins. There's also an entrance. I've lost it. There it is over here, sorry. There's a waiting shelter before we get there. There is another entrance into the station from here, followed by an assistance point. Some more planters. This one could probably do with thinning out a little bit. And there's some seating. And the road bridge across the way there with, of course, the semaphore signal, which you can get a very good look at from this location. Just a short walk away from the station, around about a 10-minute walk, is the lovely Deal signal box and level crossing. It's worth coming down just to have a look at what is a very unusual signal box on any line of the UK rail network. On the way back from the signal box, you get a lovely view over the bridge onto the station concourse. The statistics for Deal are that it opened in 1847. It currently, at time of filming, has 1 train per hour in each direction, with additional trains to Charing Cross at peak times, and the entry and exit figures for 2021-2022 were 393,602. Deal Station is a fantastic little station, with the original station building still intact and the booking hall is open most of the day, which is a pleasant surprise. The obvious attraction here though is the Art Deco signal box. It's only a 10-minute walk away and is very worth a look. For the enthusiast, views up and down the line are spectacular and really makes for some fantastic photography and videography. If you enjoyed this video, then please like, comment and subscribe. And if you can, get out there, get on the railway and see where it takes you. Thanks very much for watching.